PSG finally getting a goal, and I mean finally, at the very, very end of this match against Metz, not just their first goal, their first win of the season. Look, the 3 points is welcome, but it wasn't really a great performance, was it, Frank?
It wasn't. It wasn't because many players are still missing. Some others are coming back, like Marquinhos, but not fit because they've been in quarantine and they had to stay at home, so they can't prepare properly. And on top of it, they had a red card for Diallo, which I think, especially the second one, was a mistake from the referee. Then an injury from Bernat. They had a fantastic Di Maria, who opened so many rooms and spaces to his teammates, but they've been clumsy at front. Sarabia and Icardi have been very clumsy, also facing a good goalkeeper. But luckily, they again, because of Di Maria, they had the chance to score a goal and win. Yeah, it wasn't good, but they had many chances, and I think it's more because they've been clumsy, because now they get stressed that they can't finish the action. They did everything, let's say, good, but the last 30 years were absolutely poor. So at least they won.
Julian Draxler gets the match winner there late. Jules, I'm watching this match and I'm thinking, it wasn't that long ago, a few months ago, before the Champions League run, that Thomas Tuchel was on the hot seat. You think if they would have drawn or even lost tonight, he would have been on the hot seat even worse?
Oh, no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. I still think he is. He is in trouble. There's huge pressure on him. They go to Nice on Sunday lunchtime. That's a huge game. And after that, the fixtures are a bit better and they can put a good run together. But starting with 2 defeats in a row in the league, which had never happened to them since 1984, was bad already. And it's not just the results, because there are circumstances why they lost those games. A lot of players missing, a lot of them tested positive for it, etc., etc. We're not going to go back on that. But I think what privately at the club was really disappointing is the lack of a coaching awareness from Tuchel in those 2 games. I think his man management was poor, his coaching was poor before the games, during the games as well. And I know I was told that inside the club privately, I think a lot of people are running out of patience, and players as well. That's what's been reported in France today, that there's a lot of players in the dressing room that are not so keen anymore on him. So he had to win tonight. He did. It was not pretty, but they won. 3 points that will ease off a little bit of the pressure. But the pressure is going to come back, like I said, on Sunday for the trip to Nice. And then if they don't win that one, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but he will have to be very, very careful.
Frank, could you imagine it from the Champions League final to out the door in a matter of weeks? Is it fair?
Well, it's when you belong to big clubs, and we are in a, let's say, emergency dictator at some point in our modern time, and especially in football, where you can be a hero and 0-3 games after. I mean, it's not only his fault, because of course, you know, the coronavirus, you know, 7 players being caught with that, some players injured, some players sick, red cards. Of course, you have circumstances that you could say, no, it's not Tuchel mistakes. But what he said after the game in Marseille, when he said that they fantastically play, you say, wow, that guy has a problem. He didn't see the game. He lost it. So, and we are not every day in the dressing room with the player seeing what he does or what he doesn't do. And that's maybe the main concern. But we have a problem, I think, with Tuchel and with, in fact, the dressing room of Paris Saint-Germain. Is it possible to have a coach who can hold a dressing room like that? That's the main problem with Paris Saint-Germain. And that will be a question mark until we find one day that guy, maybe Guardiola. But we tried Ancelotti, we tried Blanc, now we tried Tuchel, Emery. It doesn't work. Nobody can hold this dressing room with all those stars. How it's possible, I don't know.
Jules, it's a fair question. It's a big job, massive egos. If it does come down to it and Tuchel goes somewhere in this season, like, who's on the list for PSG to replace him?
Well, I think there's 2 outstanding candidates, really, and 2 that I think will be very, one, really appealing for a club like PSG, and also will be quite attracted to a club like PSG. They're Pochettino and Allegri. I think they're 2 outstanding managers. They both have pros and cons. I mean, for Pochettino, obviously, the fact that he played at the club, he was the club's captain. he still loves Paris. He's still very much loved in Paris. And what he did at Spurs is obviously a big credit to him. And then on the other hand, you've got Allegri, who's really close to Leonardo, who's won loads of things at Juventus and at Milan as well, who has that sort of winning mentality, I was going to say, although he never did it in Europe, but that pragmatism to go and win things, that very Italian mentality of you play games to win. That was the issue in his last year at Juventus. He wanted to win regardless of the style of football and how well they played. People at the club wanted them to win by playing good football, which is not what he did. And many times he said at Juventus, the most important is to win. We don't care how. We just have to win. And that put an end to his career at Juventus. But I think PSG and Leonardo right now, we just want someone who can make them win the Champions League. And maybe they could think that Allegri would be better to do that than Pochettino. I don't know. But certainly if they were to get rid of Tuchel, I think it would be either Pochettino or Allegri replacing him.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.